Enmebaragesi, the contemporary of Gilgamesh. Enmebaragesi was the penultimate king of the First Dynasty of Kish, according to the Sumerian King's List. This source adds that he subdued Elam and reigned for 900 years. Depending on sources, he is dated to 2600 BC or 2700 BC, and Marchesi dates him more broadly to the early dynastic period. He is the earliest ruler on the King List, whose name is attested directly from archaeology. One inscription from an unknown provenance in the Baghdad Museum reads, Mebaragesi, King of Kish. He is also attested in an Old-Babylonian inscription which mentions him as having built the first temple, which is as follows. Enmebaragesi, of the very city that is Nippur, built the House of Enlil. The son of Enmebaragesi made the Tumal preeminent. Then the Tumal fell in ruins for the first time. Mes-Anmi-Pada built the Shua in Enlil's temple. Mes-Ki-Agnunna, son of Mes-Anmi-Pada, made the Tumal flourish, and brought Ninlil to the Tumal. There are, in all, at least 4 surviving fragments bearing the abbreviated form Mebaragesi. However, only one should be interpreted as referring to him. As of today, one fragment from an alabaster vessel bears a dedicated inscription of Mebaragesi, King of Kish, which confirms the historicity of this king. Verifying Enmebaragesi's historicity enhances the notion that Gilgamesh is also historical. There is a twist at the end of this tale. Enmebaragesi is also mentioned in a section in the original Sumerian Epic of Gilgamesh, Gilgamesh and Agar, as the father of Agar, who laid siege to Uruk. The Sumerian King List concur with the Epic of Gilgamesh in making him the father of Agar, who was the final king of the First Dynasty of Kish. Enmebaragesi is said to have been vanquished by Gilgamesh in a document written by Shulgi, but earlier texts describe his son, Agar of Kish, as having been vanquished instead. The later Sumerian Renaissance, King Shulgi, addresses one of his praise poems to Gilgamesh that credits Gilgamesh with capturing and defeating Enmebaragesi, thus contradicting the King List, where he was already captured by Gilgamesh's predecessor. In another part of the Gilgamesh epic, Gilgamesh offers his sister Enmebaragesi to be the wife of the monster, Huwawa or Humbaba, causing some debate as to Enmebaragesi's gender, with most scholars simply taking this reference as a jest. The jester, the fools. I am the M7 doc. Most scholars are wrong, as the name Enmebaragesi refers to a female who is in fact a contemporary of Gilgamesh. Gilgamesh is a child merged with myth. Enmebaragesi is the figure noted in history. The name Enmebaragesi means, from that time on, the lustful, notorious, harvest female was domesticated. How on earth do they come up with a male figure from that name? Enmebaragesi is female. So the twist to this tale is that Enmebaragesi is in fact female, and the first Sumerian king was also female. But there is another twist to this tale. Gilgamesh is the son of Lugalbanda, also known as Zu. Zu is the Titan, and Gilgamesh was a giant tyrant king. The descriptions of Huwawa or Humbaba are very similar to the Norse giant Ymir, a Norse titan, from whose bones and flesh the mounds and forests are said to have grown. I will give you a short description on Humbaba. His face is that of a lion. When he looks at someone, it is the look of death. Humbaba's roar is a flood. His mouth is death, and his breath is fire. He can hear 100 miles away any rustling in his forest. Who would go down into his forest? So this mention of Enmebaragesi as the wife of Humbaba is obviously done to weaken her character and demonize her. Gilgamesh is a usurper, but she is placed as the sibling of Gilgamesh. Hence she is labelled as the daughter of Lugalbanda and wife of the flood storm weapon. And this would be Ishtar, Molban, the bow star from heaven, contemporary of Sha'ur, and Zu, the perfect weapon. And this is quite fitting, as the later myth that should contain Enmebaragesi is replaced by Ishtar. The city is instead defended by the curse of Ishtar. If we remove Enmebaragesi, which evidently has been achieved, what are we left with? Gilgamesh and his father Lugalbanda, Zu, who does not stand proudly. It stands in retinue, like a shadow or black mass, lurking and waiting to be reinvented. Please support my work via Patreon, patreon.com/ancientmystery.